Sending somebody to school and giving them medicines, ladies and gentlemen, does not create wealth for them. Wealth is a function of income.
Sometime in early 2000s, precisely in the year 2007, renowned veteran journalist Andrew Mwenda presented an international paper to TED Global. It was on the strings attached donor aid as one of the stumbling blocks towards Africa's progress.
Does any one of you know a country that developed because of the generosity and kindness of another? Well, since I'm not seeing the hand, it appears that what I'm stating is true.
Several years later, his words are proving prophetic for Uganda after the World Bank announced aid cuts to the country over the anti-homosexuality law. This has since drawn mixed reactions, with the conversation not missing on Youth Day celebrations.
We know 67 countries that have laws similar to the one which was passed by our parliament. They never received a cut. We know countries where even expressing yourself as a woman, what Ugandans do for comedy, to play as a woman, is banned in some countries. The list is very present on the internet, but the World Bank has never cut their money. So this cut by the World Bank on our money is unfair.
This statement by the chairman, National Youth Council, coming hardly a day after President Museveni issued an over 20-page document on how to counter donor aid funding cuts. In the missive, the president recommended realignment in the country's priorities, reduction in expenditure, and international travel expenses. Ministers have joined other Ugandans in agreeing with the president.
And also it is important that national economies focus on sustaining themselves by doing those things that sustain their economic base.
The message is very clear that we must work hard to develop our country and be self-sustaining. That's very simple. If we are self-sustaining, then we defend all our values.
Us in Uganda, we are looking at the areas which the president highlighted: manufacturing, commercial agriculture, services, and now the knowledge economy. So these things, if we focus on them, plus other interventions that bring wealth to our rural people, if we focus on them, we shall widen our tax base and be able to collect the desired taxes which can sustain our economy in the long run.
To re-emphasize this is the Minister for Information, Communications Technology and National Guidance, Dr. Baryomunsi.
We need, as the President has guided, to cut areas of wasteful expenditure and hemorrhage of resources by concentrating resources on those areas which will stimulate production, and we remove consumptive areas in the budget and use our money much more frugally by focusing on stimulating production, ensuring that areas like PDM and even infrastructure are supported using our own taxes, our own resources.
The sources of revenue to our budget is the internal sources, and then the secondary one are external sources. Our role as leaders is to encourage our people to work. And when they work, they should make sure that their sources of revenue are more than their expenditure.
They both agree that the decision by the World Bank is a blessing in disguise for Uganda.
We are not worried because of the aid from the Western countries, for reasons that they are the ones who benefit, because they bring these monies with strings attached.
In any case, the World Bank is not the only funding partner that supports development in the countries like Uganda. There are other African Development Bank, China Exim Bank, and many others. So these threats, we are not very much scared.
Uganda is endowed with natural resources and manual labor that can drive the country's economy forward. It remains to be seen how these will be put to use to counter the decision on Uganda by the World Bank. Henry Okrut, UBC.